What is in the up, everybody? Back today for another Dokkan Battle concept video, and today I've sort of revamped the format because if you guys haven't been watching or keeping up with my concept videos and like card design videos, what I used to do is just go, it was pretty scuffed. I went on the Word, and then I would just go and get a few images from like my notes, and then copy and paste the image. But I have like stopped that to go across and make a PowerPoint and actually put images in, and make it look really nice and have different sections of each part of the kit, so it's easy just like to digest it a bit of information at a time and just to go over each bit one at a time, and sort of representative pictures for each thing, and it doesn't look nearly as bad because with the Word one it just looked really bad because all the pictures were just like cropped in really badly and stuff. But I think I've done a decent job with this, and as you guys can see, it's a pretty cool one to start on. We are doing BROLY, because if you guys didn't know, sorry, I know I'm like having like a brain fart or something, but we are having a hero celebration supposedly coming up soon, and the heroes units or unit is to be announced in a few days from now. I think the 15th, and at the time I'm recording this, I'm pretty sure it's the 5th. I think it's 5th, but we'll see what the unit is, and there's a ticket in game right now on the files hinting to a BROLY figure. It doesn't really relate a lot to Dokkan, but we have had a lot of figure stuff in the past where a figure comes out and it corresponds to a unit or units. So that happens frequently with the anniversaries, and just happened recently with UI Goku for 6 years. So I think a similar sort of thing could be happening here. And what a character to start on, because I think everybody loves BROLY, even though nobody likes his character. Everybody just thinks he's the coolest because he is. He's just this big buff dude who loves like just power, and he has really cool effects in terms of ki and stuff. And since Super Saiyan 4 BROLY obviously hasn't been in the canon so much as to have his own unique attacks, or even in like the movies or anything, he doesn't have his own attacks. So I'm just going to be taking a lot of stuff from other BROLYs, and I'm assuming that's what they'll do, because they've done that with other characters in the past, where if they don't have enough attacks in their individual things, sort of like they did with the 5th year fusions. Because with Vegito, he didn't actually fight at all in his base form, so they took stuff from the Buu Saga Vegito fight. So that's what I think they're going to do here. Take other BROLY fights and use that. So just keep that in mind as we progress here. So as you can see, it is an LR. I did actually make a concept for a super typing LR of what I predicted the unit would be. You guys can go check it out. It is in the scuffed format, like I said before, but it's still a really cool card, and it's probably one of my favorite card designs I've ever made. And that was for Super Saiyan Blue Goku and a Super Saiyan 4 Goku, which I can still see happen. But this looks like the guaranteed or most likely option at this current time. So I did make him AGL. I really do think that the next unit's going to be AGL. I've been saying this for like 4 banners straight. It's just we haven't had an AGL unit in so long. The last new one we had was Goku and Nappa, Vegeta and Nappa, and then before that was Bardock. And I think that's all we've gotten this year. So besides of side banner units and ECAs obviously are different, but in terms of just the brand new unit, we haven't got that in a long time. So I think a perfect way to start it is probably with one of the weaker extreme classes being AGL. It could also be Tech, but I don't know. I feel like AGL is, I'm leaning a little bit more towards that for some reason, even though he would fit really well in Tech with the other 2 BROLYs, the Super Saiyan 3 BROLY and the LR Super BROLY, Super Saiyan BROLY from the second movie. But I kind of built this guy so he could be used along the AGL BROLY, who is on Extreme AGL and is still really good to this day. He's probably better than Super Saiyan 3 BROLY, which shows you how bad that AZA is. But I just need to stop talking and get into the video. So anyway, LR AGL Super Saiyan 4 BROLY, Unparalleled Destruction. I just thought that was a cool name. I don't know, didn't really put too much thought into it, but his leader skill, I just have Beerus here because I don't know why I actually have Beerus here. Don't mind Beerus. Yeah, it was for a certain purpose before, but then I changed his leader skill up a little bit because I was going to originally have him for Exploding Rage as well as Dragon Ball Heroes, but then I decided to change that to Uncontrollable Energy, which I guess is sort of similar to Exploding Rage, but it's not really in a sense, because it's basically units like Kid Buu or BROLY who are so destructive in a way that they even hurt themselves, and they just can't really control it even when they're not angry necessarily, because BROLY is angry a lot of the time, but it's sort of like he can't really control his energy anyway. Even if he like wasn't angry, he doesn't really have the choice to go berserk or anything. It just sort of happens. And Kid Buu blows himself up quite a lot. Actually, like probably every fight he's in, he blows himself up at least like 3 times. But I think it would be a relatively small category. But the reason I have it to be a relatively small category is because it's going alongside Dragon Ball Heroes, which is also relatively small. But I feel like in Celebration we can get 3 or 4 new cards added to it, as well as some Awakenings, to really strengthen that team. Sort of like we've been getting with the Majin Buu saga recently. I definitely see a similar thing happening with Dragon Ball Heroes in the near future, and obviously we're going to get more Dokkan Best and more Lars. So I could have made it a 170%, but that's the main reason I didn't, just because I think Dragon Ball Heroes is going to become too good for a 170 lead. So this uncontrollable energy category would be a pretty interesting thing to see in the game, and we can get a proper 170, 130 split Dragon Ball Heroes category leader. So that's for the leader skill. Super attacks. So everybody loves super attacks. Probably the most cool part of a card when they release, we get to react to their super attacks. I know you guys love the videos because they get like 200 views a video in the first 2 days. So I definitely liked, and I enjoy doing them as well because it's exciting to see animations on these levels these days, because they actually look better than some scenes in the show. But let's just actually just get on to the super attacks themselves. So the 12 key is Monstrous Charge. It causes colossal damage to enemy and greatly raises attack and steals enemy super attack. So my concept was sort of based around the first movie and like the first Broly movie, and it's basically would start with Broly grappling the enemy, sort of like he is here, and then maybe like a punch with the other hand, and then him, or maybe other vice versa, but then him charging at you like he did against Goku before Goku killed him. I think that's just like a really cool thing, and it's done really well in Dragon Ball FighterZ in his intro. If you guys don't know, he slides up really fast, and it just looks really sick. So definitely think they could work something like that into it. And his 18 key Demonic Key Assault is sort of linked into his name of the first one, because there's a quote, I believe it is in FighterZ as well, but it's I'm not a monster, I'm a demon. So I sort of like wanted to put that into his kit in some way, just like a little hint to that. So it obviously causes mega colossal damage, like basically all 18 keys do, except like the AoE ones. And it also massively raises attack, so it's 100% raise to attack. And this one was a 50% raise, if you guys don't know what those normal percentages are. And then it also has a high chance to stun, but it's not a 50%, it's only a 40%. That's mainly just to fit in with the theme of Super Saiyan 4. I probably could have made it 44%, but I just wanted to round it off at 40, because not to make it too complicated to remember. So that's it for super attacks. Oh no, I didn't talk about what his 18k actually is. So it's I couldn't find a great image, but it's like the CG bowl that Broly throws, like that destroys like the ice in like the DBS Broly movie. He throws like the big bowl that of energy that gathers around his head, and it's like in the really bad CGI. Well, it's not really bad, but it's not nearly as good as the rest of the movie in terms of style. But I definitely think that Dokkan could put a bit more Dragon Ball Z like anime flair into it, and actually make it look better, like they sort of did with Gogeta's 12 key in LR Blue Gogeta. So I definitely think they could stylize it like they did with that super attack, to make it actually look like a good attack, and don't have like the really bad crumbling mountains and stuff. But that's it for super attacks. Now on to probably everyone's favorite part in terms of the unit's information, which is the passive. So this guy, I sort of wanted to kid him around. You guys can read it obviously if you want now, but it's basically I wanted to kid it around the fact that Broly, when I think of Broly, I think of just non-stop attacking, relentless. He's just coming at you non-stop, and while he's doing that, he's getting stronger. So that's what I'm sort of base this around. That's what I like doing with my units. I like having a theme with them. So this guy has the theme of 6-6 as well as 4-4, and the theme of unrelenting attacks. So he has 6-6 mainly because like it's like a demonic number, 666, as well as 44 for Super Saiyan 4. So it's sort of a mix of both those things you'll see reoccurring a lot in the passive. So defense was 66%. That's hard to say for some reason at the start of turn. So he has the initial defense, which I feel like he needed, because that's a weakness of Tech Broly, is no matter where if you put him in front slot, he's just going to take damage because he needs to attack first. So just giving this guy a little bit of defense, just to helping out in those situations where you need to put them up front, I think was a decent idea. I didn't want to give him an attack as well, because I feel like that would have made him a little bit too busted. But He also gets attack and defense plus 44% for 4 turns after receiving an attack. So basically what this means is if you get attacked, you will get 44% attack and defense for 4 turns, like it says there, but then that will carry over to the next turn as well, and then you can get hit on that turn, so then you'll have 88%. So it's sort of like a great raise, greatly raising attack and defense for 3 turns. Basically has the same sort of effect, but you need to get hit obviously. So it's similar to like Gohan's and Frieza's abilities to get hit and then do something cool, but you can actually not get hit on one of the turns and still have that buff going into the next turn, and then just amplify that buff by getting hit again, which is sort of what I want to theme. Like, he's getting hit a lot and he's getting angrier and stronger, and he's just going to get super busted. So already at the moment he's looking at defense 100%. I know if you get both the activations on this and you start a turn, he's looking at the 144% defense. Remember, this is an LR with the attack of 88%, which is a lot for an LR, as well as massively raising attack. That's why he has less attack in his passive, is because he massively raises on his 18 key and greatly raises on his 12 key, so you don't want to make it too much damage, because obviously it would just get out of hand. So attack and defense for 66% for 1 turn when performing a super attack. So when he gets extra attack when performing a super attack, similar to Kefla, the recent Dokkan Fest one, that's a really good ability to have defense before super attacking and then attack when super attacking, because when you get that, when you get attack when attacking, it amplifies differently into the passive, and it ends up doing like almost 2 times as much damage. It does so much more damage when you have it when super attacking, so that's why I wanted to put it there. Basically, every time something happens in the game with BROLY, he's getting another buff as they keep up that theme of unrelenting. So every single thing that happens, BROLY's getting stronger, more angry, and just about to beat your ass. But he has a defense plus 66% buff when performing an ultra super attack. So this attack buff activates as soon as you get 12k, and this defense buff activates as soon as you get 18k. So when you get 18k, you're getting both attack plus 66% and defense plus 66% additional onto the other buffs that you have there. So that already is basically defense plus 210%, and then attack plus whatever it is, that would multiply differently. So it would be sort of around like 250%. And this is all for just getting hit, which is very easy, only once a turn, as well as actually just getting his 18k, which when we get into an interesting part, I've actually gave him an active skill, and we'll get into that are sort of based off Turles, that to give you a hint. But I think this will be really interesting if we do get a mechanic like what I'm about to talk about in a minute. But so he gets that for 1 turn though. Keep in mind, so when he super attacks and ultra super attacks, that buffs for 1 turn. It's not like BROLY, Tech BROLY's how you super attack once and it gives you the buff for that turn, just like, and you can't get any more buffs. So if you got an additional super attack, it wouldn't add anything on. For this one, if you got a super attack, right, and then got an additional super attack onto it from like your hidden potential system, you would get an extra attack and defense plus 66% in combination with the one you got for the original super attack to make it to 122%, and because it's on super attack, it amplifies to like 150%. So as you can see, the more attacks he's doing, the more stronger he's getting. You know, and this all happens in like a few seconds in 1 turn, really fast. But like just like non-stop stuff for this guy. It's super exciting card. I really hope we get something like this in the future. But he also gets a ultra super. No, he gets an additional. Oh my god, I can't read. So when he performs an ultra super attack, he then performs an additional attack. So if you only get the 12k, he won't perform an additional attack. But if you get the 18k, he will perform an additional attack, or just a normal attack, which is a high chance of becoming an ultra super attack, 44%. So basically a 50% chance that you can get 2 ultra supers, and these ultra supers will both like activate the defensive passive. So you're getting another 66% defense and another 66% attack when you get this, when you trigger this ultra super attack. And then that has, if you don't get that 44%, it has a chance to re-roll and get a 66%, which is just a normal super attack. So you won't get the extra defense, but you'll get the extra offense still, and still be doing a lot of damage in combination with this super attack, greatly and massively raising his attack. He's going to be hitting like 10 million in his most optimal situations, and then with an additional attack of like 7 million or even above, can get possibly higher because of the 1 turn buff, so you could probably be getting a 15 million on the additional Ultra Super. I sort of wanted to make this guy like Tails, because Tails is really nuts in his damage, how he gets like a super like ultra damaging attack, and then he has a chance to get another super damaging ultra attack, and he also has a chance to stun. I think I really like Tails, so that's why I subconsciously base this guy around similar things that Tails has, but he's different enough to make him not a copy paste of Tails, obviously. So he also, when facing a pure Saiyan or a Hyper Saiyan, they like putting things off when facing in units these days. They just love doing stuff to make a unit better in certain scenarios. So when you're versing a pure Hyper Saiyan, it debuffs the enemy 22% attack and defense. I wanted to fit the theme of 44, but I feel like if I put minus 44% attack and defense on the most common categories in the game, in combination with this 300% attack and defense with all like the stuff factored in on a 1 turn, you're probably going to be winning every round in 1 attack. So I didn't want to make him too good, but this guy's probably at least top 3 at the moment in the game. I didn't want to give him any support because I don't think BROLY's about support. He's just a monster. He's solo, so I didn't think to give him support. I feel like a debuff would be more suitable, as his passive is named Horrifying Presence. It's sort of like, oh, when he versus a Saiyan, they're like, oh god, this guy's a Saiyan like me, but like 10 times stronger, so I'm scared now. So then that sort of makes him horrified, I guess. And then it debuffs them is like the thought process I had when doing that. So that's his passive. Pretty ridiculous in the optimal situations. But you do need to get hit before your stuff activates. So if you get super attacked slot 1, you're only going to have that 66% defense, which is okay. But unless you got hit a few turns before and have that other 44%, you're going to be getting hit for a lot. And then they're sitting around like 100k defense, which is not that great. For a unit these days, definitely in category Super Battle Road and category Extreme Super Battle Road, that is definitely not going to be near enough. So, onto his active skill. So his active skill is going to be this scene from the BROLY movie where BROLY goes full power and he basically stands there for 10 seconds like screaming with energy just coming out non-stop. That's what I visualize with Super Saiyan 4 BROLY, except it's sort of obviously more primal and like vicious. It's not just like it's like a rah 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 rah, like I don't know. That sounded really dumb now that I said that out loud. I shouldn't have said that. But the condition is it can be used after selecting orbs, and you've selected 4 or less orbs, so you have to get a low amount of orbs. So if you have like your field all of 1 color orbs because you have a bunch of orb changes, you're not going to be able to get the active skill off. You have to only get 4 or below. No, not even 4, sorry, less than 4. So you have to get 3 or below. So you have to get really unlucky with orbs, and that's why this active skill exists, just in case you get unlucky with orbs. So it's not like, oh, he doesn't get good unless you get unlucky with orbs. It's like he gets good when you get a lot of orbs, and if you don't get a lot of orbs, well, he's a bonus just in case. So he's good either or. So that's why I made it so all these conditions are relying on the Ultra Super Attack, or all of his good ones, like the additional and the defense. Just so then you can use this to help with that. So this is the first active skill you can use after you've attacked. That's why you can't use it in the 3rd slot, because obviously after you do an attack in the 3rd slot, it ends the turn. So you have to use it in the 1st or 2nd slot. It can be used up to 4 times in the whole match. So Turles can use his 2 times in the whole match. So I thought that's a really cool mechanic that you can use active skills multiple times now. So why not take advantage of that in the new card? So it can also be used up to 2 times in 1 turn, so you can use this twice a turn. But there's a real big kicker, or like backlash, I guess, or I don't know what they call it, like a hindrance on using it. So you lose 20% of your HP. It's not permanent, it's just like let's say you have 500k HP and you lose like 125k just for that 1 turn. Like you just take 125k damage. It's not like you lose permanently 20% of your health bar, so if you use this 4 times you only have 20% of your original life total. That's not right, it's only just damage. So you can heal it up, so you can use active skill 2 times in the same turn, and it would give you attack and defense 10% twice, but because it's an active skill buff, and it would go on top of another active skill buff, that's really like, probably like 60% attack and defense, as well as giving you key. So my thought process is, you are on a team where you barely even get key because it's like bad, like an Android team, Extreme AGL, and you're getting on a rotation of just Super 17 you don't share that many links with. So you obviously are going to be like, well, I can't get a super attack off, and you get 2 orbs and you're looking at 8 key, and you're like, okay, well, I need to get extra defense because it's a really bad rotation for me. Use this active skill twice, pop a defensive item, and then Broly's going to be doing an ultra super attack, getting that extra defense and all that stuff, as well as his active skill buff, so the attacking defense was 10% twice, as well as getting that key, but you're also going to be losing that HP, but you can heal it up. So if you can use an item anyway, a run, you might as well use this as a little bonus just to make that item even more worth it. So that's my idea with this, and I think the animation would be really sick, and it's just probably screaming and just going like insane. His links and categories is the more boring part of the unit, I think, and I think everybody agrees. When you links and categories, it's like, yeah, that's cool, but you don't ever go like, no way. So I think the most obvious of things is this guy does not have big bad bosses. I thought this guy was already too good to give big bad bosses because I wanted to make him that weak before he attacks. Not weak, it's not like super weak, but weaker than he would be before attacking. So, and I feel like if I gave him big bad bosses, he's going to be still on 150k defense before attacking. And after that one attack that's dealt to him on the next turn he comes back, he's probably going to be looking at 200 and something k defense before even attacking. And that's just, I feel like it's too OP defensively and offensively. So without big bad bosses, he's going to be looking at around 100k defense, and then when he comes back for the first time, only 150k defense at like most probably. So that's like my whole idea with him, and I didn't want to ruin that with big bad bosses to make it too OP. So he has Saiyan Raw, Super Saiyan, Prepare for Battle, Saiyan Warrior Race, Fierce Battle, Legendary Power. Those are all pretty good links. I think the main reason I put a decent amount on them, well, Saiyan Raw was mainly because he's Super Saiyan 4, and all the Super Saiyan 4s love having Super Saiyan. I just got a tongue twister. All the Super Saiyan 4s love having Saiyan Raw. Super Saiyan is a Super Saiyan. Prepare for Battle because it's a good key link, especially with some of the Extreme AGL units. He also has it with some of the other BROLY units. Saiyan Warrior Race is another very prominent BROLY link. Fierce Battle because I'm assuming if we do get a unit of some sort, he's going to use some Dokkan, get a Dokkan Fest event, or use a new, maybe it's like a Super Dragon Ball Heroes event, and you just verse a bunch of them, but it still is a Dokkan event just because they're going to release so many in the future. Or maybe, I don't know, he just uses 7 BROLY Awakening Medals, but I just want to give him Fierce Battle. Obviously he's an LR, he gets Legendary Power, automatically. Categories, Resurrected Warriors, old BROLYs are basically just like, I feel like from the first movie, after the first movie, every BROLY is technically a Resurrected Warrior. Movie bosses, because even though technically he isn't in a movie when he's Super Saiyan 4, it's just like non-canon. Even though the movies are non-canon, it's just like made up stuff. I don't want to say made up because it's not made up, but it's just not in a anime that's like mainstream or anything, or a movie or anything. But he's still a movie boss because he originates from a movie, so I feel like it fits that he's still a movie boss. I don't think Super Broly is always going to have a movie boss. It was just because he was evil that one movie, and it was just a movie. While this guy was born in a movie, he's technically not canon, and he basically only existed in movies. So I feel like that makes more sense, and he's just super evil. So movie boss makes sense for him. It's a staple Broly category, I think. I feel like he needs it. Also, he'll work really well with the new Tellers and movie bosses. He has Pure Saiyans, full power because he's Super Saiyan 4. Grade 8 power, which is the new category. Target Goku just because he loves saying Kakarot. Exploding Rage because Broly's always angry. And Inhuman D just because that one time he killed Paragus wasn't very nice. And that's the links and categories. So that is the video for today, guys. I really enjoyed making this this card. I sort of made him fit like Broly's character. You have to sort of, like, Broly, the longer he stays in transformation, if you guys didn't know, the more strong Broly actually gets. Like, that's a canon thing. Like, that's actual lore that Broly gets more stronger the longer he is just, like, angry. So, I wanted to make it so when he's not angry and he's just at the start of the battle, he's sort of weak. But then he starts off and he keeps going, and Broly just doesn't stop going because he's so mad. So, I really did enjoy making it, and I thought it was probably one of my favorite, I would say it's my favorite, concept I've made, because I feel like it's really accurate to Dokkan card could do, and it's nothing too out there, but it does have some unique stuff that we haven't seen before, but it's nothing like a new mechanic or anything. It's just like some other stuff that we've seen before combined and meshed in. to something really cool, I think. So if you guys did enjoy, obviously a like and subscribe would be very much appreciated. We're about to do some hella good reactions, but I hope they're good, because I obviously won't fake my reactions if I don't think the cards super attacks are good, as you guys could have seen on the Xenoverse card awakening, because I wasn't very hyped for those. But I definitely think I'd be hyped if we saw a Super Saiyan BROLY in the coming days, so definitely stay tuned for that. I'm sorry I haven't been uploading that much, mainly just because I have final exams in like 2 weeks, so like it's been a bit busy in personal life, but definitely thanks for watching. See you guys later. Peace.